Hello, gentle viewers. It is once again Avindian with you for episode 4 of Out of the Park Baseball 18 as the Cleveland Indians. So last time we went through the trading deadline, made a couple of moves. If you didn't see last week's episode, you can certainly take a look on YouTube. What we're going to be doing today is finishing the regular season, and if we make the playoffs, we'll begin the playoffs next week. Next episode rather than next week. Let's do a quick overview of the team before we continue. One thing I wanted to point out for you, as I mentioned last time, notice that it lists how short-listed players are doing right now. And this tells us who's playing well and who's playing poorly. So Kevin Cron, one of the people we actually traded for from Arizona, is doing well, but this is still referring to his time in Double-A. He hasn't actually played for our Triple-A yet, so we'll see how he does. Similarly, we see some of our draft picks have already performed quite handsomely. In particular, Justin Morris, in his first 100 or so at-bats, is doing very nice. Very nicely indeed. And then Jake Godfrey, who we just drafted. Actually, Morris might have been someone... No, we drafted him this season. I don't know how he's gotten so many at-bats already, but that's okay. And then Nicholas Storrs is not hitting as well as he could, but he's still very young yet, and we'll see how he does in the future. So, with all of that being said, I see no reason not to continue. So right now we're number 1 in the league in runs scored. Very nice. We're top 10 in everything except home runs. We're exactly 10th. Do we want to make any lineup changes? Let's see here. Santana's still getting on at a 359 clip, even though he's only hitting 194, so I still like him as our leadoff hitter. He's already scored 62 runs. Brantley's doing pretty good as our number 2. In fact, let's take a look at weighted on base average. Lindor is our best hitter, followed by Encarnacion. Guy's doing very well, facing just the righties. Naquin is hitting extremely well as well. Chisenhall's an interesting discussion we may have here in a little bit. Because I really don't want to re-sign Chisenhall. Because I think Bradley Zimmer could do just as well. He's got that gap power, which means he'll probably hit doubles. Chisenhall will be an interesting conversation in the offseason. Kipnis doing very well. Perez has taken nicely to his promotion. We remember we promoted him at the end of the last episode. We made him our full-time catcher. Jose Ramirez has been somewhat disappointing at third base. Is he getting it done defensively, though? He is doing quite well defensively, enough to make up for his somewhat disappointing bat. That's right, you don't use BABIP, do you? There it is, 245. It looks like he might just be victimized by some bad luck. Same thing for Santana. Both of these guys should be hitting a lot better than they are. Ramirez in particular is a decent contact hitter. So, I'm not hugely concerned about their futures. I'm not hugely concerned. Let's see, pitching-wise... Tomlin's something a problem, but he has been all season. I bet he's given up a whole bunch of homers. Yep, he's still giving up the long ball. That's Josh Tomlin for you. I mean, this is what he is. We could probably do better than Tomlin, but we could also do worse. Merritt just got promoted to being a full-time starter. We'll see how he does in the role. At the very least, I'm expecting another Josh Tomlin, and he could be a lot better. We may want to look in the offseason for a free agent starter to fill out this rotation. And then we've got Adam Plutko, who was just called up and hasn't actually played yet. A pretty good year for Columbus, so I'm confident that he'll be at least as good in the majors, if not better. Oh, and he's very intelligent. That's good to know. All right, so I think with all that being said, I think it's time to progress. Let's see how we do here. We're doing very nicely. Got a 12-game lead on Kansas City, the best team. Nope, we're not the best team in the American League. We're the second best team in the American League. And that's just as good. Oh, we get a personal message. Oh, Cody Allen signed his contract extension, which was for another 2 years, a significant pay increase, but he's worth it. And he probably would make more in free agency. So let's take a look and see if that helps us with our extension room. Not really. Not really. We've got to hope that the success of this season generates more income next season. And that'll help us out here. This has to be over the length of his contract. That's a 140 innings pitched. Otherwise, there's no way a reliever is going to get that many innings pitched in a season. That's almost unfair. Brian Shaw kind of stinks this season. He's striking people out. He's not alone. The peripheral suggests he should be better than this. But for whatever reason, he's getting clobbered. A 4 ERA is not super great from someone who's supposed to be pitching in high leverage. Okay, this is sufficiently weird that I need to investigate. Did he just get a couple of appearances where he just got his brains hammered out? It's weird. There's like, here's a 4 spot, and then nothing for a long time. I mean, it looks like he's been trending in the right direction. But I don't know if I want to take a risk on him. What would you want if I did decide to extend you? And he's a straight free agent, which means anything I sign won't carry over to the next season. I can't re-sign Santana unless I give him a qualifying offer. And after the season, I may get a bigger budget for free agents. We'll see. We'll see. Anyone else I want to talk to? I really want Lindor locked down long term. I really do. But I don't think I can afford it. Where is Lindor? Here he is. Oh, that's a lot of money. But it's a 9-year deal, which means he'd be 31 at the end of it. 32, sorry. You drop this to $4 million, and I will actually give you this deal. Can I get a team option at the end of it? Just in case. Let's see how he likes this. Okay. Do it. Lindor is a megastar. He's worth this huge extension, and this should, as a secondary effect, kick up our overall team popularity, which might mean more money next season. It might mean more money next season. So let's go ahead and advance time a week. And we'll see if Lindor signs the extension. 4 days for Carrasco. It's a day-to-day injury. He'll be fine. If he's going to miss a start the game, we'll put him in. Interesting news. No Yenis Cepedas for the Mets. That's unfortunate for them. Lindor hasn't signed yet. Maybe he's just thinking about how awesome it is, and he can't decide. There we go. New deal. You'll notice fan interest increases, and the more happy people are with us, the more the salary will increase going forward. So it's like the opposite of a Kobayashi Maroon, that it's an everyone wins situation. And Lindor should almost certainly more than earn his contract up until the very end of it. Let's see here. The signing is great news for Cleveland. I could not agree more. Ooh, a good day for Michael Brantley, getting 5 hits. Very nice. Brantley's had a very nice rebound season. Lots of at-bats. I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased indeed. What's his WAR? Just out of curiosity. 2.8, and in 2015 it was a 4.3. So he's about as good as he was that year. Not hitting quite as well. Someone may want to think about offering an extension to next season. It's looking like we're almost guaranteed to make the playoffs at this point. I say this and Francisco Lindor's arm is just going to fall off or something. Corey Kluber just explodes into a ball of fire. You can't have nice things. Yep, nothing too shocking there. 300 homers for Curtis Granderson. John Lester gets a shutout, as does Marcus Stroman. We're at the top of the power rankings. Everything is as it should be. I think what I'll do next season is I think I will just do GM only mode. I generally don't like messing with the lineups if I don't have to. And it'll actually force us to hire a manager next season, which will be fine. I don't have a problem with that. Carlos Santana, batter of the month. Really? I'll be damned. Yeah, Santana's almost doubled his production of home runs over the season. He's really heating up as we get closer to the playoffs. Good on Santana. Good on Santana. Other than that, nothing thrilling. But today is roster expansion day, so now it's time to think if there's anyone we want to call up for the last couple months of the season. Let's see, how's Banda done in AAA so far? Not well enough to call him up right now. I want to give him a chance to get some seasoning, so we'll leave him there where he can play every day. Sean Armstrong's already on the 40-man. There's really no reason not to call him up. How's Mejia doing? Extremely well. How much longer do I have Gomes for? And of course the real-life Indians signed him to a long-term contract. That's not very smart. And Mejia is a really good catcher too. I can't keep him contained for too much longer. If I call him up now, does he get put on the 40-man? He does. Well, I was going to put him into the 40-man anyway, so that's no skin off my nose. I might try to trade Gomes in the offseason. I doubt I'll get much of an offer for him, but at this point, almost literally anything will work. Chang is very much a work in progress, but he's doing well this season in AAA. I don't think he's ready to take over for Santana next season, but I don't think that time is far off. How's he picking up first base? He should be playing first base. Why are you not playing first base? Have you been playing just third and short the whole time? Yeah, curious. I think I was supposed to force him to play first and I just forgot about it. So that's on me. Do I force him to play first? Or do I consider replacing Ramirez? Let's do this. Let me force you to... Who's my current first baseman, by the way? In the minors. Oh, Cron. Yeah, and I'm not ready to have Cron not play. Cron's gonna stay and keep developing in AAA. Anyone worth calling? I'll call up Grady Sizemore just for fun. Greg Allen. Allen's had a pretty decent... Allen's had an amazing year at AAA. He could replace Almonte as a good platoon guy. Because Naquin's value is mostly his bat. He's a good center fielder, but not a great one. It's nice having options. It's very nice to have options. Do I really want to call him up? Not really. I'm going to throw Sean Armstrong on the roster. He's already on the 40-man. I see no reason not to. Mejia is an interesting problem that I'll have to look at in the offseason because I can't keep him contained anymore. He's already better than either of my current starting catchers, and it's not particularly close. So for the pitching staff, this will be easy. You're going to be a middle reliever, and you'll just pitch when they tell you to pitch. No worries. Mejia, working him into the lineup is going to be more challenging. What do I want to do with Mejia? Do I want to start him? No. I'm going to make you the official backup. Gomes isn't like super genius defensively. He is not. Mejia is now my everyday backup catcher. And I do want him playing every 5 games because I want him to get some meaningful at-bats. That looks good. I'll just leave everything else the same. Sizemore might get a couple of pinch hit performances, but really he was there to fulfill a need I no longer had, so it's fine. On to the next week. 22 games and a half, 23 games and a half, very nice. The Tigers have kind of pushed the Royals aside, but let's be honest here. 10 games in a row. I think I've all but got this locked up. In fact, let's look at the pennant chase. No, why does you think I want the National League? AL Central, 100% chance of making the playoffs. A 4-game magic number. I'm actually doing much better than I should be. I should be winning 83 and losing 53, doing 91 and 45. Usually this is a sign of a pretty good bullpen, but I don't think my bullpen's all that great this year. Allen's really good. Everyone is good to legitimately excellent. Shaw's not super awesome, but I don't really have a replacement for Shaw either. So, meh. Let's go ahead and just continue. Santana's almost 5 days. That's fine. He's doing okay. If he was anywhere near his batting average from last season, I think he'd be a better hitter. Look, he's actually picked up a little bit of time in right field just because of those games I had him play. That's cool. And Old Dog can learn new tricks. We'll make some baseball cards for some strange reason. Oh, Cleveland's already clinched. You can see that down here in the latest news section. Cleveland cruises to American League Central Division crown because, of course, we do. Read all messages. We'll delete all our messages after we see if anything interesting is here. A setback from Harper. By the way, do I have drug suspensions turned on? I believe that's option or players. Or is it players and face gen? No, suspensions are enabled. Okay. Okay. A lot of these you can't actually change because of challenge mode. Anything that would make the game easier or harder in a significant way can't really be altered, which is fine. Wow, have we been on some kind of hot streak? 100 wins. Very nice. And I can't really take credit for most of this. This is mostly just putting a lineup together and telling them, go out and play it more. Up, we lost Edward Encarnacion. How long are you out? 3 days. That's fine. Luis Perez retired. I don't even know who this guy is. Oh, it looks like he's most famous for pitching in Japan. Well, it's a shame he's retiring, I guess. Wasn't really going to make the majors, to be perfectly blunt with you. Interesting. Kluber's leading in wins, but Carrasco's actually been the better pitcher this season. Let's see here. Yu Darvish is hurt. Brewers are out. We're really at the part where I don't see a whole lot of... Let's see how we're doing on time for today. We might actually consider doing the first round of the playoffs, or at least the first couple of playoff games. And then if it looks like things are getting out of hand, we might simulate there. Oh no, the Twins are eliminated. What a huge shock. The Twins are like, yeah, 64 and 87. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Grady Sizemore wants to re-sign, which is good for him. I don't have any real desire to do that. I don't have a need for him. I mean, he's not even that popular, so I'm just going to let him walk. What might have been with Sizemore. Grady Sizemore, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Indians, was an amazing player for a few seasons. Look at this. Look at this run here. Unfortunately for Grady, he was the kind of player who never took a day off, and he had some serious injuries in his late 20s, and he was just never the same. He was totally out of baseball for about 3 years and made a minor comeback in 2014. Really a shame. I had a Grady Sizemore shirt in my closet for a long time when I was in college, but wasn't meant to be for whatever reason. One of the cool things about out-of-the-park baseball is players become coaches, so that may be something we consider doing, as we may hire him as a coach if he becomes one. Kind of like how they have Sandy Alomar right now as a first base coach. Man, we are killing it this season. Oh, we have a Clipper retiring. Michael Martinez. Well, to be fair, I don't care. I mean, ooh, we get some firings already. The White Sox fired their manager and their GM. Do we have anyone whose contracts are expiring? Chernoff, who I can easily replace. Replacing Chernoff is no big deal. I don't really have anybody that exciting. I could use some better coaches, but My reputation should not be poor. That's absurd. How's our team chemistry? It's probably through the roof because we're winning all the time. Yeah. Everyone just cares about one. Oh, I do get my team captain, Grady Sizemore. Francisco Mejia is a leader. Sizemore, despite not even playing, does have a salutary effect on the team. Did we get Salazar re-signed? We did. We did. Let's take another quick look at the salaries. Anyone I want to hit up for agency? The back end of this contract is going to be brutal. But I think if anyone can justify it, it'll be Lindor. And I don't even want a chance that he's going to hit free agency. Not even a microscopic chance. Almonte. I like him. He plays 3 positions kind of well and isn't totally useless with the bat. But I'd really like a better platoon partner. Where is Brad Zimmer? That's right, Zimmer's going to be playing right field next year. I don't know if Zimmer's going to be ready to play next year. He kind of got dominated in AAA. He might be another year away. And I don't want to rush him. Who's Gabriel Mejia? I don't know who this guy is. Oh, he must be someone the Indians got through. Okay. He's a darn good center fielder. Huh. He's had a really good year in AA, and he's 22. I'm going to keep an eye on him. In fact, let's shortlist him. Luigi Rodriguez. A lot of speed, decent defense, some home runs. Not a useless player. He's a lefty. But you're interesting. You couldn't hit your way out of a wet paper bag this season. You're still a couple years off. Nonetheless, interesting enough to scout. So you go on the short list. I'm kind of set at second base. I'll be honest. I don't think Kipnis is going to go anywhere. Although this kid is a pretty decent second baseman. You can go on the short list. I'm still going to let the AI manage these players and move them around as they see fit. But they're interesting enough that I do want to keep a closer eye on them. And then no one else there. We need pitching prospects, and we need them badly. Bradley's power's already starting to spike. He should already be on my list. He's not. This part isn't terribly exciting, but it's really useful to put players on your short list so you can keep an eye on them. McKenzie, absolutely on the short list. Just because I have so few pitching prospects. Hosea Nelson, there's Morris. Carlos Ventura. Huh. I like him. And then I thought I got at least a reasonable starter in the draft this year. I guess I did not. There's Nolan Jones. Man, he is killing it. Also, the point where I think the game's is holding him back right now. He should not be in rookie ball anymore. I am going to go ahead and shortlist him, and I am going to manually... I'm going to disable your ability to be promoted and demoted. And look at all these leader loyalty and work ethic. I'm going to promote you to... Let's get you up to Mahoning Valley, and let's see how you do. Nolan Noni Jones. That's a fantastic nickname. I like that. I mean, he just destroyed rookie league pitching. I think he's beyond that now. We'll see how he does next year. And no one else here I really want to focus on. So our biggest problem right now is not enough pitching prospects. We don't have much if we have pitchers fail. Banda is our best, and I don't want to rush Banda, but he may be in the majors sooner rather than later. Okay, let's end the regular season. Let us end the regular season. Could we set the all-time record for wins? No, I think it's mathematically impossible at this point. We need 116 wins. Santana twisted his ankle right before the playoffs. That's not ideal. I know what the word media means. It's plural for mediocre. Tommy Bridges pitched for Atlanta. I don't know if he still does or not, but that's pretty clever. A personal message. 600 for Pujols. Very nice. A player development update. So we can take a quick scan of this email and see if any prospects just kind of bloomed out of nowhere. I don't expect it, but it could happen. My God, Mayhe is getting better. Like a hugely amount better. It's going to be I almost have to start him next year. I don't see how I cannot start him as a starting catcher, which really kind of stinks because I like Roberto Perez, but look at this guy. There's nothing he does wrong. He's the starting catcher next season. There's just no two ways about it. Ramirez got a tiny bit better. Diaz got a tiny bit worse. Lonnie Chisenhall, his potential is spiked, but this is probably a false spike because he's 28 already. Everything else is kind of meh. We'll have to keep an eye on things. Let us go to the playoffs. So we won 111 and 50. 112 and 50, excuse me. That's pretty hot. I don't know why we're not getting the cool email that says we need to set up the play. Oh, because we get a first round bye. That's right. So let's see. Boston got a wild card position. Okay. So let's take a look at our standings so far. So we're going to have home field throughout the playoffs. Assuming we make it through the first round, which is, of course, by no means guaranteed. And our wild card teams are Boston and... Oh, there's going to be some nastiness here to sort out who goes where. Let's play until next week. Here we go. Oh, I got an achievement there. Let's see, Kyle Blanks is the top player of the year. Bryce Harper led the league in batting average, but we led the league. Miguel Cabrera doing nice in his late career. Holy crap, did he do awesome this season. Damn. Detroit's going to be scary in the playoffs. For sure. All right, so we need to set our playoff roster. So it'll just be our regular roster. I have no problem with that. That doesn't mean we have to manually put Gomes back in as a backup catcher. But no one got hurt, so we can't really change that. It did say here if you can change the roster, and we can't. Mayhe is not eligible because we only called him up in September. But don't worry, Mayhe. I'm sure there's going to be several playoff appearances in your future. Okay. So, what did I need to do? Oh, that's right. I was just adding Gomes back to the team as a backup catcher. I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, a couple of seasons ago, the Indians thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then they signed him to a contract extension, and he's been kind of bleh ever since. Got some decent homers. I mean, he was a subpar hitter and a decent fielder, which is about what you'd expect from him, but I'm going to try to flip him. He's not popular enough to crater anything. He's unhappy that he's not starting. Maybe you should try sucking less. Maybe that's what you should try. Okay, so we've got ourselves, it'll be between Detroit and Boston for the AL wild card, and then it'll be between New York and Arizona for their wild card. So, let us advance until the next playoff round. Ooh, I like the bracket. This is very cool. They didn't have this last season. And Out of the Park Baseball 17. Why is it calling it R3? No. We need to fix that. It's the League Championship Series. We need the bit that's got the scheduling. Oh, I can't change the playoffs right now. That's disappointing. I'll have to remember to do that in the offseason. Kind of bugs me. But let's see here. Oh, Joaquin Benoit retired. He might get some Hall of Fame votes. Let's see. Boston advanced in an 8-3 win, and Mets won there. So, I'm taking a look at my time, and this would be actually one of the shortest episodes of the series so far. What I think I will go ahead and do is, just so things are easier for people to follow, and in case people don't want spoilers, I'm going to end this episode here, but I'm immediately going to start recording the first round of the playoffs. And we'll see where we end up after that. So I will post the second video later, probably tomorrow. So for now, if you liked the video, please remember to click like. Send some comments down below what you think about the shorter format. And of course, subscribe if you have not already. Again, posting tomorrow, I will post the first round of the playoffs so we can see how we do against the Boston Red Sox. But until next time, game on and have fun.